Rabotai Karim, as you know, we brought a lot of news to light about Dennis Prager being a heretic, being a someone that is causing damage to Am Yisrael. But as we all know, that a person that's a kofir bechavero, sofo kofir beHashem, someone that's ungrateful to his friend is also ungrateful to Hashem. When a person is, needless to say, the opposite. When a person is ungrateful to Hashem, he's going to be ungrateful to his friends. So Dennis Prager presents himself as a ethical human being, where he uses logic and he uses his understanding of the Torah and of society and so on and so forth in order to bring good to the world. Well, the truth is that you cannot be a liar and an honest person at the same time. So one of the things that Dennis Prager promotes and talks about is how popular he is and how he has billions of views. And if you look, this is his website, Prager University. And if you notice, it has a counter over here that says the Prager University has 4.5 billion views. And if you see the small print on the bottom, it says that the views count represents the cumulative views of both YouTube and Facebook. So, yeah, as you see all of his videos, you'll see each video has many views. Some literally have millions of views. So, explain this to me, Dennis. How is it on your website you're saying to people, help us reach the next billion? You have 4.5 billion views and it's counting, and you see the counter is very active. Over here you have 4.5 billion, but over here you have 5.98 billion. Over here you have 137 million. That's a little bit of a difference. And then over here you have, hold on a second. What is this? Negative 10.9 million? How could somebody has a negative views? What, people unwatch all of your videos? How could such a thing be? So, Rabotai, I'm bringing this to you so you understand you cannot simply trust anyone that's a heretic in a Torah. You cannot trust, just like the Torah says, the Gemara talks about, you can't trust someone that doesn't have Yirat Shamayim even to be in a room with him. How could this be? Simple. Baruch Hashem, we have some geniuses on our team, and simply we discovered this counter is simply fake. Dennis is lying to you and he's lying to everybody else, not just about the Torah, not just about the truth of the Torah, but also even about his own purposes, his own things, because you can't just lie to Hashem, you have to lie to people too. So what do? Very, very simple. You make a fake counter. How do we know it's a fake counter? This, Rabotai, is the current counter. You go to his website, you're going to see 4.5 billion views. Okay? This is the counter in exactly a year from now. Right now is January 7th. This is exactly what it's going to be in January 7th of the following year, 2022. We're 2021. This is what it's going to be in 2022. So somehow he already reached the 6 billion views already in the future. He already knows this is what he's going to get. Now, if you go back just a couple of years, well, hold on a second. All 4.5 billion views are gone, meaning that he got all 4.5 billion views in just the last couple of years. I mean, that would literally make you the number one YouTuber of all history. But obviously we know this is not true. Because you see, the views are, if you check YouTube, you check elsewhere, you'll see that this is not the case. 137 views, you definitely did not get 4.5 billion views in the last couple of years. And surely you can never get to a negative balance. What this is, the year of inception. The year of inception, June of 2010 approximately. Dennis says that they started in 2009. We just went back, 10 years or so just to see where we're at, and this was enough to simply prove the point. Without having to specify the exact date of inception and when the YouTube channel started, the bottom line is it is not possible to have a negative view count, and you can just simply go down to any number that you want. So how do you do this? How do I know what his counter was in all these days? Very, very simple, and you could all test this at home to see that we're not making this up. We're not specifically targeting Dennis just for the sake of our pleasure. We're simply showing you that someone is a liar, about the Torah. He's a liar and everything else. Simple. Go to your computer, go to your desktop, you go to your clock. Go to your clock, change the date on your clock. And I would recommend changing it by years rather than changing it by a few days, so you'll see a more significant difference. Now, in some computers, you'll be able to see it live right away. Once you change the date, you refresh the screen, and you'll see that the new number shows up. In other cases, you'll actually have to open a whole new folder. So I'll give you an example here. I'm going to change the date. Okay, I'm going to change here, change the date. We're going to change it, actually, instead of 2006, we're going to change it to, let's see what Dennis thinks he's going to be in, let's see, what is Dennis going to be in the year 2000, I don't know, let's see what Dennis projects himself to be in 2028 on January 7th. It's a Friday, right before Shabbat, right before Dennis decides to drive on Shabbat. And we press OK. Okay, now we officially changed the date. Okay, we'll move this. And let's see what will be. We'll have to open a new screen. And we'll go to Dennis's website, Prager University. And let's see. Let's scroll down to the bottom. Oh, look at that, Dennis. Wow, Chazaku Baruch. Wow, Chazaku Baruch. In a matter of 7 years, you grew from 4.5 billion to 14.7 billion. Psh, you're a YouTube billionaire. You're a YouTube billionaire. I mean, that's amazing. Now, how can you make Dennis go broke? Let's see. Let's just simply go back and test it out again. Let's go back, I don't know, let's just go back to January of 2014. Okay, I don't know, I'm just picking random dates. January 2014, oh, it's a Friday. It's a 7th, it's a Tuesday. So you don't have an opportunity to violate Shabbat, but you can still eat your shellfish and all the non-kosher tarif that you eat, because you tell people in your article that anyone that doesn't eat shellfish or pig is simply eating kosher. Just not the highest standard. Okay, it's just a new rule that Dennis created. All right, so we are in January 2014. Let's start again. Dennis, let's see what your website did just a few years ago. And we're off to the races. Oh, actually, we're reversing in time. And Dennis, oh, hold on a second. Dennis, you're bankrupt. Wait, you're bankrupt. 7 years ago, you were bankrupt? You had 5.7 billion views. I mean, you would have to owe YouTube a ton of money. Now, everybody knows, I mean, YouTube has been around for a while, but, they haven't been around for, 30 years, right? Everybody knows that. So let's see. What was Dennis in 1980? In 1980, how many views did Dennis have in 1980? Let's get I want to get a kick out of this. Let's see what Dennis thinks. We are back in January 7th of 1980. Dennis, let's see how many views you had before the internet. Dennis had, let's see how many views Dennis had before the internet. Before the internet, Dennis had negative 55 billion views. Dennis, you liar. Stop lying to my people. Stop lying to the people. Whether they're Christians or they're Jews, they deserve the truth. Stop pretending you're honest. If you're going to lie about the Torah, that means you're going to lie about everything else. Before the internet, you had a negative 55 billion views. We only wish that was true today, so nobody would have watched your videos that makes you look like you're kosher, when in reality, you're as taref as the food you eat. Kol tuv.